Hello friends, welcome to youtube.com Dr. Vet channel. I am Dr. P.R. Patel, Professor Head, Veterinary Medicine. We have seen anemia in dogs part 1 and 2. Here we will see part 3, pathogenesis and clinical findings. Friends, we have seen two classification. One is the based on morphology of the RBCs, morphological classification. Second classification was based on etiology, etiological classification. And the third type of classification is based on regeneration of the RBC, means whether the RBCs are produced or not, formation of RBC is there or not. On that base, there is classification regenerative or non-regenerative. In regenerative anemia, the bone marrow responds to reduced number of RBCs. That means when the RBC numbers are reduced, the bone marrow start producing. That is regenerative. And increase production of new RBCs according to the requirement of the body. This happens in anemia due to hemorrhage or destruction of RBCs. Means hemorrhagic anemia or hemolysis anemia causes a regenerative type of the anemias. Regenerative anemias are generally due to hemorrhagic anemia whenever there is any hemorrhage in the body, hemolytic anemia when there is destruction of the RBCs in the body, hemolysis, immune mediated hemolytic anemia when there is immunity reactions, autoimmunity, metabolic causes of the hemolysis when some metabolic reasons are there, it also causes regenerative anemia. Another type is a non-regenerative anemia. That means inadequate response of bone marrow to produce RBCs to the increased requirement of the RBCs. The anemias due to reduction in hormone, especially erythropoietin, that stimulates the RBC production or abnormality in the bone marrow leads to non-regenerative anemia. Here we will see in which conditions non-regenerative anemia occurs. Nutritional deficiency, especially deficiency of vitamins and minerals and protein to some extent. If there is bone marrow disease, then also there is non-regeneration because bone marrow has to produce red blood cells. Very important from clinician point of view is chronic long-term diseases produce non-regenerative anemia, especially long-time inflammation, chronic infection, tumor, liver diseases, or hormonal disorders like hyper or hypoadrenocortism or hypothyroidism. All these conditions produce non-regenerative anemias. Another important is non-regenerative anemia also occur when there is kidney disease. You already know that erythropoietin is secreted from kidney and it is helpful for the production of RBCs. It stimulates bone marrow to produce RBCs. If there is long-term kidney disease, then production of erythropoietin is comparatively less and that also leads to the anemia. In this condition, the treatment is synthetic erythropoietin hormone is available. Injection is also helpful, and in such condition, supplementation of iron is also helpful for the production of the red blood cells. Over and above, it is required to treat the kidney diseases at the same time. Coming to the important part, pathogenesis. Important pathogenesis is tissue anoxia. We all know that hemoglobin is important for carrying oxygen from lungs to the tissue. When there is reduction of hemoglobin, the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood reduced and tissue suffers from the anoxia. Almost all tissues require oxygen, but important three tissues require more oxygen, and they are brain, heart, and skeletal tissues. If they are not getting sufficient oxygen timely, death of the cells will start and clinician will observe the signs of degeneration of the or dysfunction of the brain, dysfunction of the heart, and skeletal tissues. One important pathogenesis we have seen, tissue anoxia. The second pathogenesis is cardiac compensatory mechanism. When oxygen are deficient in tissues, there is heart rate increased, the cardiac output increased, the speed of circulation also increased. It is the compensation of the more requirement, more blood flow to the tissue. But heart has a limit. Then it got the exhaustion because the heart also require oxygen. And finally, there is cardiac failure and that results into tissue anoxia. So timely accurate treatment is very much essential. Otherwise, the clinician, animal or the owner has to face the consequences of this anemia. The third pathogenesis is murmurs. We know that in the wall has a limited opening and when blood pass forcefully through the wall, it produces sound, extra sound. That is called as murmurs. Here, the increased speed of blood through this mitral valve causes a great pressure and friction. And due to this friction, there is functional systolic murmur. This is called as hemic murmur. Why hemic murmur? His valves are normal. There is no abnormality to the valves. Here the cause is blood, anemia. So it is called as hemic murmur. It is a functional disorder, functional murmur. Here the valves are normal, no pathology of the valve. Here the function is hampered and that's why it is called as functional systolic murmur. And this is heard when the stethoscope is placed over mitral area on auscultation. Clinician can hear this hemic murmur. Coming to the very important part, clinical findings. The signs depend on the severity of anemia, subclinical signs are not observed. If it is moderate anemia, moderate signs are observed. If the anemia is very severe, then tissue anoxia, murmurs, and other symptoms are observed. Similarly, the signs depends on duration of anemia, whether the anemia is for short term or long term, acute or chronic. Along with anemia, the other symptoms are also observed. The anemia may be caused by certain underlying disease or a cause. So symptoms of other disease are also observed. The symptoms are divided into two parts: symptoms of acute anemia, symptoms of chronic anemia. Here we will see symptoms of acute anemia. If there is rapid severe blood loss and more than 30 to 40% of total blood volume lost, immediately animal shows signs of shock and even death also if timely treatment is not given. Sudden loss of blood results in compensatory increased heart rate, severe paleness of the mucosa, and low blood pressure. The other signs are paleness of all mucous membrane. The clinician must include examination of mucous membrane in almost all cases because each and every disease and most of the diseases has effect on blood. So it may produce marginal subclinical anemia, sometimes chronic or acute. So clinicians are advised to include clinical examination of mucous membrane. The other symptoms are muscular weakness because of the lack of oxygen, dullness, depression, difficulty in respiration, dyspnea. Again, this is because of the anoxia and low hemoglobin. The pulses are bounding and very weak. There is increased heart rate, tachycardia, and hypotension, low blood pressure. Now we see the symptoms of chronic anemia. In chronic anemia, the animal has a sufficient time that the tissue accommodate to the effect of anemia. Here, the clinical presentation is a low grade anemia. Anemia is usually more slowly growing because on one side the etiology causing anemia and the other side the bone marrow produced RBCs. So there is sufficient time to accommodate. So it is not immediately problematic. It causes problem, but not immediate. And in this case, the symptoms are uncertain, indefinite, vague symptoms, lethargy, weakness, decreased energy, inappetence to anorexia. Here also, paleness of mucous membrane is there, increased heart rate, that is compensatory mechanism, dyspnea, peripheral pulse very weak, enlargement of the spleen, and hemic murmur, symptoms of underlying causes or disease that causing anemia. When there is destruction of RBCs, the hemoglobin is released, converted into bile pigments, and there is development of jaundice. It is expressed by yellowish color of white cornea of the eyes. The skin and mucosa also become yellowish. If more hemolysis, there is appearance of hemoglobin into the urine, hemoglobinuria. Urine become red, and overall general edema of the tissue is also observed. Friends, requested to share this information to our all veterinary brothers. Press like button. Please subscribe to support and promote this channel. Thank you very much for observing Dr. Ved channel. Thanks.